So, hello family and friends. I hope this episode is gonna drag your interest, because we're gonna go through Riga baby, and get it dissected with Nasser AlHarbali. So we're gonna look around, we're gonna drive the track, have a look at it from the car, and have it explained by Nasser AlHarbali from his point of view. He's driven this track a couple of times already, and we're here this weekend to experience it with Nasser, and I'll be trying to help him, to spot for him, and we'll take it from there. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and do all the things, and enjoy the show.
Before the Valinos came into the game and they used to run less grippy tires, the start line used to be right at this exit. So here there would be the Red Bull thing, and you start right here. Because the tires had less grip, so they gained less speed by the time you initiate. Ideally, to get the correct speed that you want, this is where you start. You can see the start lines. They start here and exit the chicane, and you drive up first, second, third, in my car, fourth, and then over here, go a bit wide, a little bit wide, and then you initiate, and this is the start. So you see, you don't see where the hell you're going. By this point over here, there's a radar. It traps your initiation speed. The very good drivers that are very experienced and have a lot of confidence, they trap around 155 to 160 kilometers an hour. In my case, last year I was trapping 138 because I was scared, because I would lift off before the initiation.
And because you don't see,
and then you understeer, because it's a very shallow turn and you're going downhill, so you have momentum. So you're going over here. At this point over here, we're doing 160, because you're gaining speed. 160 kilometers minimum. You need to be flat out all the way up until here. Before, the edge of the track used to be the gravel. The problem with the gravel is that it sucks you into the wall. So the grass over there, it has a hill. It just sucks you into the wall. So they made a buffer zone. So now there's this small strip at the end, because this is where most people drop their tires. If you drop your tires here heavily, you can really hurt the car, or most probably end up in that hole over there, which is a lot of drivers last year did that. Itai totaled his car last year over here at exactly this wall. Then this is a flat out, you can't lift. If you lift, you'll be completely off the correct line. So then you'll hit this clip, you still can't see where you're going. You need to be flat out over here. In my opinion, this is the trickiest part of the track, because you need to carry so much momentum and be full on throttle, hit this zone perfectly, because if you don't hit this zone perfectly, you wash out from here. And this is where also, if you drop into that gravel over there, you can also risk flipping the car. You're right there,
which we've seen a lot.
So then you hit this zone over here, you gotta stay full flat out again. But to pull off speed, the judges really like to see some angle coming into the game. So you angle it a lot, and then you flick to the other angle, and then your momentum keeps you at that angle. Still, again, no handbraking, nothing. You need to stay outside all the way over here, and then hit this zone right here. If you go up on this, oh my god, the nightmare. If you hit that portion over there, it's you went 5 stories up, because the curb is so high. It makes the car jump really high. Ideally, the perfect thing is to put your tire on the curb, and it will act like a stopper, which is allowed, and then it will push you to the other side. This is the part where breaks your points or gives you the good points. Over here, there's a bump, and you see how many tarmacs we switched from to. This over here bumps you up, so it stops your transition, and then you have to enter the zone. Right here, you gotta be on the wall, on the wall, and you need to stay on the wall all the way through this, no lift off. You only can dab the handbrake right before that, and that has to be after the transition and before the wall. If you handbrake after it, it's you lost half of your points, especially in the MEC. If you handbrake during that transition, David is not gonna like that at all. And then this has to be flat out all the way. These concrete barriers are very thick. These will eat your car. And if you hit one spot, that's it. The wall drags you in. Stay all the way really out, to the corner, and then you're done. The thing is, you saw over there, you see it, there's a gray patch, that's new concrete. Over there, all the way on the wall, it's new asphalt. Then over here, if you're in the chase and you're on the inside, you have less grip. If you're on the outside, you have more grip, because you see there's 2 asphalts over here and there, okay? So there's one over there, and then 2 over here parallel to each other, and then a different one over here. You see here, it's a different asphalt again. So this portion of the track has the best grip, coming up through here and here. This all has really good grip. And then over here, it's again a different asphalt, which is when you're coming down. From this point, this outer section is so full of rubber that it reacts so completely different than outside here. It's full of rubber, because this is where all the people lay down their rubber, especially with these grippy tires. And then your start line is also a different tarmac, and your run-up is a different tarmac. So your initiation spot right here, there's actually good grip in it. So you would have less grip initiating, and then when you get into the zone, you'd have suddenly like more grip.
So that's Riga top tip for you.
Actually, my top tip is don't fuck up anywhere, because if you screw up anything about this track, if you screw up your initiation, you're gonna be not inside the zone, you're gonna be outside the first zone. If you're outside the first zone, you're not gonna hit the second clip properly. If you don't hit your second clip properly, there's no way you can loop the track. Impossible. That's it. You mess up one thing and it all connects, because it's all happening so fast. Your average speed, let's just say someone like really confident on this track, their average speed is gonna be around 170 kilometers an hour. That's 50 kilometers more than our legal speed on Sheikh Zayed Road.
Yeah.
And imagine doing that in this tight situation. There's no room for error. You're going too fast to have any error. You have to be 100% perfect. So if anyone thinks when they're watching the live stream that, oh, well, you know, Riga doesn't look that hard. It is the toughest track on the planet. And I drove it this year in the rain. It's a totally different story in the rain. Like, it's already tough to drive in the rain, in the drive. In the rain, it's impossibly hard to drive. It's just because there's so many different tarmacs, and every time you jump from one tarmac to another, the grip level changes. So actually, like, the local drivers, like my friend Edgar Krogres over here, because he drove the track many times, and most of the time he drove it in the rain. Like, he drove a lot of times in the rain. So he was like, after zone 2, you just lift, you don't touch the throttle. You let it wash off all the way until your next transition. You don't dab the throttle, because there's no grip at all in that old tarmac with the rain, because the holes in between
are almost wide. It's almost flat.
Exactly. So what happens is that you go from good grip to absolutely no grip, and that's how it feels.
Aquaplaning, basically.
Exactly. And it puddles, like water puddles over there. So the best thing to do is you just lift off completely, and the car will wash off easily. And do not, his main advice, do not touch the handbrake. You cannot touch the handbrake. You touch the handbrake, you instantly spin, and no throttle. And in the case of like a supercharged car, like in my car, where the throttle is very sensitive, you can really force it into a spin in any possible way. Like I spun out over here several times, because you have to downshift when you're going right into the wall. You have to downshift no matter what, because your speed is changing massively. So you need to be able to pick up that speed again up really fast. So when you're downshifting over there, you need to time your downshifting to be very sensitive, because if you're in a puddle of water at outer zone 4 is where I downshift and where most people downshift. If you do it in an aggressive way and you bump up the clutch, you spin.
You shift lock. Basically.
So you need to be sensitive in the way that you downshift. If you want to do the downshift in the transition, it's safer, but then you're very tight in time, because you have to downshift and quickly go on the handbrake, because you have to handbrake right after the wall, because there's a bump, and that bump feels so much more aggressive when you're driving the car, because you're doing 100 kilometers an hour doing that transition, and you got to go from 100 to like 40 in 20 seconds, and it's your transition that kills the speed. Your angle kills the speed. So you have to be ready on the handbrake to stop it from going into the wall. It's a lot harder to drive it than say it. It's really an experience to just at least try this track once. And now what we're going to is Witch Kettle, which is the most event that I'm excited to do this year. It's part of Elaine's program, the Baltic competition. They showed me the track a few trips ago when I was here in Riga. I came and I saw it in person, and when I saw it in person, I just fell in love. So right now where we are is part of a MotoGP track. So this is only for bikes. You can tell from the width of the track. So this is only for motorbikes, it's not for cars. Cars are not allowed to race over here. During the year, this is a park for the public. You saw over there was a swamp.
Yeah, people are walking.
Yeah, so people just walk around over here from the residents around. Anyone can enter. There's small gates, but now they have the car gate open. But this is where the track is. I think we could have entered from there. So I will go back to show you where the crowd stands. This is the end of the track over here.
I love the elevations.
Yeah, it's all elevations. There was a car that flipped over here a few years ago. It went off track over here, went into this, and flipped out of the track.
Wow.
Brand new E92 first event for it. Now this is still part of the track. Now this is where all the crowd stands. So all the spectators will be in this corner. There's gonna be like cafes, restaurants, all of that, all over here, and we're still in the track. So this portion right here. So I'll take you guys inside there to show you. The track start line is.
And then we just drove the track backwards.
Yeah, it's backwards. Okay, so the start line is right here.
Man, this is a roller coaster.
Yeah, and the pits are over there, all the way at the end. So I'll take you from the start. So the pits are right here. You basically get your car ready, come up to the start line. Everything's really tight here again because it is a motorbike track.
Feels like Jabal Ali, but
they only open
longer.
this for 1 day a year. 1 day, that's it. for cars one day. That's the only one time that they can do it. If it rains,
You get it with the rain.
yeah. Start line is here. Come up. Initiate blind, doing like 80 kilometers an hour. You can't see anything. And then the first jump comes, and it's an outer zone over here.
And good luck.
Okay? Outer zone over here. You can feel the elevation.
Yes.
And then again over here. This is where most people go off track, right here, because it's tight. So they go off track over here. It's an outer zone, then an inner zone again, and then you go again out, and then you slow down, and then you throttle up again, and then the outer zone is right here, and then you finish right here. These are fucking tracks.
Wow, man.
That is a fucking track. I'll show you where the spectators stand, because the best part about it is the spectators. You can see everything, every second of the run, from start to the finish. You see everything. This is where the spectators enter. Again, I've never done the event, but Elaine and Yanis, they explained to me everything. They're the organizers. They organized this event. Uh-oh, bikers. Maybe I shouldn't enter. Maybe we can just walk it in, because I don't want people to get mad at us. I'm not Elaine, so Elaine can do whatever she wants. I cannot.
If you can find a spot big enough, then you can just keep it to the side and...
I hope that I'm going right. It's been a while since I came, but I believe I'm going right. I'll just work it over here, and then we'll go down on foot.
You can see.
That's where the start line was, okay? If you stand like all the way on top over there, you're gonna be able to see the entire run. This is part of the Baltic series. There's like 4 different competitions going on at the same time. So each country has its own series. So there's Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. I think there's one more country, I'm not so sure. But anyways, they all do their competitions combined. So each country has its own points going on for their drivers.
And the Baltic is the one that...
Baltic is the Latvian one. So the other ones have different names. I don't know what they're called. So I did their first round this year, which was the opening of Riga. And this is the finale. This is the final round of their year. It's part of all 4 competitions. So that's where your start line is.
If you stand on that hill, you will be able to
if you stand on that hill, you'll see it like all start to finish. You see the elevation change over there when the car is coming down. You see now from outside that you look at it from a distance. That's an insane elevation change.
Yes.
That's like going down 3 floors.
Yeah, that's quite big.
It's insane. So that's why the startup is not a long start, because if you do gain a lot of speed, it's impossible to stop the car from going into the wall over here. That's why they have gravel over there. Go down there, transition. Over here is very tricky, because as a driver, when you're coming from up there, you have no clue where the stern is going. Muscle memory. This is where I told you the car flipped out, because when they go out, they would expect the radius of the turn to be bigger, but it's tight because it comes back in.
Wearing short is not the most ideal thing to do today, but okay. Walking in the woods.
You continue. There's a transition that happens in the middle.
So that's a manji.
Yeah, so there's a manji over there. And then again, you stay wide, all the way out. Then you have one transition and the run finishes. But if you're standing right here,
if you take this spot, you see the whole track.
You can see like the whole thing. But imagine the noise over here, and imagine there's like 20,000 people in the spot. It's insane.
Yeah, you have to come like a day before and book your spot.
Yeah, it is insane. And they have screens so you can see the live stream and stuff. But they told me it's that time of the year, most of the time it doesn't rain. It is very cold, but it doesn't rain. I'm really excited to do this track. And it's a perfect ending to the season.
This is gonna be your last event in Europe?
Yeah, this is my last event this year. It happens in October. So it's gonna be one hell of an event. I'm excited to just drive it. Like just driving it is an experience. I mean, look around you, like you don't.
I mean, where do the spotters go? Like literally, you have to be between the crowds to see.
No, but there is a screen, so there's live stream, and it's like direct feed, so you can quickly see it. But if you have 2 people like spotting for you, one over there, one over here, then you can see everything. This is, I think, one of these special competitions that happen in Europe. It's weird that not a lot of people know about this event. I think it should be marketed more, because it is quite unique. Like the entire setup is very unique, and it's not a fast track, it's more of a technical track. It's actually a very tricky track. Edgar's Krogerus, he's a Latvian, he lives here, and this track is like by far his favorite, but also like quite a scary one, because you drive it once a year, so it's not like you come back the next year and you have the muscle memory to just perfectly drive it again. So it takes a few attempts. I think because of how the setup is, people can get enough time to practice, because you finish the run and you have to go around again from the outside and come back in, so the flow is going to be quick. The flow of cars going out to do runs and stuff, obviously if there's no accidents going on. So I think I can put in, and it's only for the pro class, so no semi-pro over here, which eliminates like another 40 cars, because they have their semi-pro and their pro class, and the semi-pro I think is around like 35 to 40 cars, and then add the pro class, which is another like 45 to 50 cars, maybe more. Like the first round of the year when I came, there was 60 cars in the pro category. 60 cars. That's why they only do one category in this round, because if they do more, then the people just won't get a chance to practice, and you need the seat time on this track, because I think it's also a track that doesn't really use that much tires.
I don't think it's a fast track.
No, I don't think it's a fast track.
I don't think it's a fast track. I think it's a kind of a track that requires a lot of
balls.
Well, yeah, that and a lot of I won't call it wheel speed, I would call it response, like super quick response car. Like car has to be very agile and grippy.
Yeah, and it's just not all cars like to react to bumps and elevation changes in a very good way. Like for example, on my car, the S13, that bump at the end of Riga is a lot more abusive on the car than how it looks like from outside. But if you see some onboard shots, you're gonna see where the car is like literally like bouncing, because you're braking and going into that bump from a very high speed, so it really like shocks the suspension.
I mean,
different setups on the shocks will really affect how the car drives.
So we're back and heading to the track.
Look at the elevation change going into the wall. Look how steep it is, and this is where you're transitioning off throttle, so it's like you're on the brakes, so it becomes very tricky to put it on the line.
Ah, Yusuf is doing the same.
Yusuf would crash even with the scooter. I wouldn't be shocked.
Let's go.
Look at the insane amount of rubber. It's everywhere, like from the beginning of the zone till the end. And then when you come over here, this is the fucking worst part. If you drop a tire over here, you lift up like on 2 tires, like that. And it will shoot you the other way.
that's when he was saying keep
It's
your
like,
foot.
And then you throw that way. If you get over here and you lift off, either you can roll over, or if you're lucky and like you spin like somewhere on the edge, if you stay on throttle, then you'll spin and you'll avoid going back into the wall, like what happened with E-Type. Because he spun out and then he lifted off and then he went backwards into the wall. The entire rear shock towers, they were like up. They were like literally they were horizontal with the car. They were no longer like straight up like this. They were like this. And this is why they have, I think, tires this year over here. Look, you don't even see anything.
I mean, you see Yusuf. Let's go.
It's much slower.
By the time you're here, you're already doing 100, 110. Fourth.
You're already like 140.
140?
Yeah, you're like 140. But then this is where everyone lifts a little bit because they get scared.
Okay, because people usually lift over here. Small dab of the handbrake.
And then no lift.
No lift.
No lift, no lift, no foot brake, nothing. Pray to God it will stay on the track. Then over here you kind of need to angle a little bit.
Angle a little bit.
Full throttle.
Full throttle though.
Ideally you want to touch the apex of your tires so that it gives you a push. Then over here you want to angle a lot. You want to start like angling a lot so you can remove some of your speed. And then again, no lift, this is still on throttle. Transition back. Again, also ideally you want to stay as wide as you can from the beginning, so that right over here, this is what I think is the best way to do it. Look how steep it is now. Get a lot of angle into it, like a lot of angle, and then brake on throttle, and then handbrake over here, like 2-3 tabs, downshift, and then no lift. If you lift, because you're still doing like 100 and like let's say 90 approximately here, coming into it, and then you actually start, you won't lose speed, you're gonna stay on the same, on this part is like when you're driving inside the car, you're like, because here it's all so bouncy when you pass the section between the real track and the pit. Now over here it starts like bouncing a lot, but it's still quite, like the grip is good over here. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. There's one strong hit over here, which most of the people end up in the wall like a little bit, right here. Over here, fuck, and then you get sucked into the wall and you smash it a little bit. And then if you make it out over here, doing everything correct, and you have the rights, then you can throw a fucking 360. But don't throw a 360 unless you did all of this right. Riga is a fucking bitch, bro.
It is.
But when you do it right, oh my god, it feels so good. Everything else becomes easy. Any other track becomes a joke. Coming down here, like right here, this is the fastest part of the track because you have zero lift and you haven't lost any speed really. Living down from here, coming through this, I would say you'd actually, like real speed, you'd be doing at least 170-ish.
We'll see it this week.
Yeah, no, like I'm serious. When you're standing here and the car passes, the live stream that makes no justice. It's like, it's insane that like it blows air on everything here. Everything over here like kind of like shakes because of how much wind is going through. But obviously you need like, I don't know, we'll check tomorrow like how much Peter traps over here. Like he's insanely fucking fast going over here. Peter is definitely by far like the fastest one coming through this corner. And insane angle, it's like unbelievable. There's just like, and there's no hesitation. It's like one solid tone to the car. From the beginning up until it comes up to the wall, it's like flat, foot down, pedal to the metal, and barely any very light taps to the foot brake, mainly over here, like on the inner clip, because you can do one of two things. Either you transition and it starts pulling you out too far, that means you transition late. If you transition a bit early, which is what most people do, you end up coming in a bit tight over here, so your foot brake just a little bit. So technically the only part of this track where if you're doing an ideal perfect run that you should foot brake is only coming up to this zone, and then you let off. Then over here you can foot brake, but it's not really to correct your line. You're on the correct line, but you foot brake to increase angle into the car and then flick it to the other side so that you can have like really nice angle going into that zone. These are like the runs that I remember where I think Piotr had in 99 last year or 98, something like that.
99.
Yeah.
And this is where we spot.
This is where the judges are. Oh no, actually the judges are going to be judging from inside the offices this year. They'll have more live cameras. So the spotters, I believe, are up there.
This yellow
And
side.
this is for the media control. Usually the spotting tower is right here. But the problem with the spotting tower is that you don't see the outer one. So in this track, you always have to have two spotters, someone over here. You need someone up there so that they can tell you if you're timing the transition right or wrong. I don't know why it feels to me like they've made the circle bigger this year, but I might be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I got used to it on the simulator, it feels small. I think this is the most common accident that happens here, this one. You transition, you hit the apex, and then your tire goes up on it, and then you spin out. But you're doing like 160 going into there. So what happens is you spin out and you go reverse all the way and smack this wall. Smack it. When I mean smack it, I mean like you really smack the living shit out of it. If you want to see what I'm talking about, Hartman last year, that happened to him in qualifying. If you go up on the apex, when you come down, you lose all the grip and you spin out. And when you spin out, the car just keeps rolling backwards and nothing will stop it.
This is the
There's
section you were talking about where you do not put your foot on throttle if it's raining.
Yeah. As soon as you finish this tarmac, for some reason, actually not for some reason, it has more holes, so it has good grip in the rain. Okay, it's not bad. Once you enter this point, this tarmac has less holes in it. So this has less grip in the rain. Okay, so what happens is when you roll from here all the way up to the transition, you can't. You just lift off, and then when you're in the zone, you start giving it a little bit throttle to push it out. Once it's pushed out, you lift off again. As soon as you hit the brown tarmac again, the grip suddenly comes back, slaps you in the fucking face, because it becomes like so much grip, no grip, so much grip, no grip. That's exactly how it is. There's so much grip coming down in the rain, and then no grip, and then so much grip going up to the wall.
Careful on scooters, there's accidents.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
Not allowed. We're supposed to do it.
run!
Where did he go?
No, this is serious. Never mind. This really hurts.
Where did he go? I ran behind him.
This really hurts. You should try it. This is like legit shit. Why would you get such a small one?
It wasn't supposed to be that.
Hey, V. Now I can't have fun. Let's see if I can get these guys standing there. Did it go?
I don't know. One of them moved.
Yeah, it's, you know. Yeah, it's stupid. And you know, you don't know where it's going because it's going, you know.
Maybe. To help
I
out.
think it's going to hit someone eye if you just do that. Oh shit, this definitely gonna shoot him.
Who are you fucking shooting?
Did you see? What?
Don't shoot on the fucking.
Are you threatening me, fucker?
I'm just saying, it looks fucking dead.
Is it shooting? Why are you so cheap with the bullets, man? It has bullets. So if someone, you got it for your protection. If someone came to, you were going to, wait, my gun is not working. There's no bullet here. Yeah. So, right? Right?
He's touching his foot like this.
Put this away, man. We're gonna go to jail. Oh, Kurt has to stay with me doing this while I'm killing people. Kurt, reload. Anna, move. I need to. Give me a. Oh yeah! Let's put this inside before I kill someone with it.
Dissecting Riga with Nasser AlHarbali, like knowing more about it. I mean,
I'm not that experienced about it. I'm sure there's a lot of drivers that will give you much better input than me.
yes, but let's talk from the Middle East. You're probably one of the most dived in Riga so far.
I think so far from Middle East, just me and Ali Maqsid that drove this track.
And Daham drove this track. Daham, I think he did it once, 2018 if I'm not wrong. And Maqsid did it once also.
Yeah, one.
And
I don't know if he's doing it again this year. I'm looking for a gay club. Do you know where I can find one? Oh, okay, I'm coming. This is Edgar Krogres, the Latvian who used to be very respectful and now he's the biggest dickhead I know.
because of Nasser AlHarbali. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This is gonna be a specific episode by its own, and it's dissecting Riga in Nasser AlHarbali's eyes, and with all his how much he was exposed to Riga, basically. Now we know Riga as we know it from Drift Masters, but there is more to it than meets the eye, and Nasser have shared with his views about this, which is quite interesting and quite eye-opening for us. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to share, subscribe, or do the YouTube things, and do the Instagram things, the share and the heart and all these things. And thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.